Welcome to the Go Nuts, Freeze Your Nuts Off opener at Tannehill State Park in Alabama. This is the Cat 3 race. What you're seeing here is the start of the race. Now, actually, this is more than just the Cat 3. We've got some juniors, obviously, out here, and you can see what's about to happen here. This young rider in front of me, she's going hard. She pushes it wide a little bit. Oh, there's a creek right there. Who knew that was going to be there? And then a lot of other riders didn't realize that the turn is actually just ahead of them, and they cut it off a little bit. So that was a little bit of a headache right there. So now what we're doing, so you start off straight out of the gate with a lung buster of a climb, and that's where we're at this moment in time. This guy in front of me, man, he was mashing those pedals hard trying to get up that hill. It's steeper than you realize. The video does not give it justice, but it's steep and it's a slug. Still going up. We're a little bit more than halfway up. Actually, we're almost all the way to the top there. All right, turning off the climb straight into the single track. So at this point, I am just trying to hold on as best I can. I can see the guy in front of me. Got up the last little climb. We're heading up towards the ridge top, so there's a little bit of a drop down in here, and we're just rolling through it. Small little climb here. I can keep him in my visual, so I just kind of reel him in a little bit here and there. So now we're at the top of the ridge. Now as we're on top of the ridge, we're heading down into what's called Cannonball. So it's a nice little bit of flowy section here. There's about 4 of us in line, and just kind of trying to keep the flow going, as it were. As you see, this guy, he was riding hard, but I was just a little bit faster. I kept kind of catching up to his tail a little bit. I nearly rubbed wheels with him at one point. I think that's coming out. Yeah, right there. I just about rubbed his wheel. So I kind of gave him a heads up that I was right back there, and I think I got into his head a little bit that I was there, and I think that caused him to make this mistake here. He went a little high, slid off the side. But my benefit, I was able to get by. Now we're finishing up kind of by myself at this point, just trying to, I could see guys off in the distance right there. I'm hoping that I can reel them in. So it's just a little bit, like inching closer every little bit. So I'm just digging a little bit each time, This is nothing but just a bunch of little flowy sections. It's fast, smooth, bank turns. You take them high right there. You carry a lot of speed through them. Helps you close gaps. So obviously I was able to get close to them. But this is right where we came out of the flowy section straight into this little steep pitch up and then another little climb, and I was gassed. So right here you can see that they were able to just kind of pull away from me. And at this point I thought, that's it. I'm not getting back to them at all. They're pulling away from me. We're still climbing right here. Now I've dropped back down. There's a little bit of descent. They're still within visual sight, so I'm trying to keep them within that sight. Still right there. Going uphill again. Got to the crest. Now we're about to hit a slight section of flows. This is a flow section that actually kind of descends a little bit. So now I've caught back up to the group, and I know I can stay with them. And I'm confident that if the opportunity presents itself, I can get past somebody. But right now it's just kind of recover a little bit, just go with the flow. His turn was slick right there. Now we got a sharp right-hander right here. I took it wide, tried to cut that turn a little bit sharper, and this drops straight down. And this is a nice, fast, little flowy bit. You can get some speed, and you can get some air in a couple of places. Kind of backed off a little bit because I was afraid I was getting too close to the guy in front of me. And then we got a sharp left-hander followed by a sharp right-hander. And I knew that coming in. I knew the guy in front of me, whatever line, there were 2 lines that I could see. One was inside and one was outside. Whichever line he took, I was taking the opposite because I was going to try to cut that. So he goes on the outside. I take that inside line. I manage to squirt through this really, really slick mud. and then I've got to catch up to the guys in front of me. And at this point, I was like, there's a rock section coming up, so I've just got to get ahead. I need to get to the rock section first. So I put everything I have into it. I'm hitting. This is leading up to the rock section. This was really slick. It monsooned the couple days beforehand, just for days we had nothing but heavy rain. So I knew if I got into this section first, I could at least stay ahead. If I was behind somebody getting into this section, I was afraid that they were going to slow me up, or there was going to be some delay. So my whole goal was to get to this section first. So now we got through all that rock section. I was back on a little gravel road. This is heading back to the start-finish line. Now I'm just kind of putting the pedal down. Right here, I've got some issue with my gears. You can kind of hear it. So I'm just trying to mess with that. Now we're going through, and the guy on the left, he got past me, but he was only doing 1 lap. So now I'm hitting my 2nd lap. And now it's all over again. I just got to try to, I've got a gap. I'm going to try to stay in front as best I can. And we're back to the climb. There's another long buster here. And he's caught me. Okay. And this guy, man, he was strong on the hills. He just pedaled away from me. I always was able to keep him in sight, but he kept pulling away on the hill. Now we're back on top of the ridge here, and I knew I just had to catch him. I needed to catch up to him before we turned down into Cannonball, because if I could get in front of him, I could probably stay in front of him. So that's what's happening here. I managed to sprint on that ridgetop and get to him. And I got a little overconfident here. Took this turn. I took it a little too hot. Got me kind of screwed up. I got into some of the loose pine straw. Got my lines messed up. And I was hitting for the tree. The guy behind me, he should have taken that position. He had every right to. He didn't. And he let me stay in front. And he told me later that I just kept kind of slowly inching away from him. I never dropped him, obviously, but we just kind of kept, I just inched away from him each time. So this is Cannonball. We're just going through this flowy, whoopy section. With enough speed, you can catch some air on a couple of these little spots. But this is nice and fast, and it's smooth. If you got a good line, you can take this. You can gain a lot of speed through here. Continuing along on Cannonball, just enjoying. There's a little bit of air, just enjoying the whoops. Alright, now we continue on. This is some more fast flowy bit. It's a little tight right through there. Oh, nearly caught that tree with my pedal on the first lap through there. Now at this point, I'm just trying to keep my lead, or the guy. I'm trying to stay in front of the guy, I shouldn't say. I didn't have a lead. I didn't know where I was, to be perfectly honest. Now we're back on this backside of trail, coming through the rock section. There's a little drop right there. And it's all about just staying in front. It's just staying ahead of whoever's behind me. So I'm trying to be as fast and as smooth as possible through here. The guy behind me, I could hear him every so often, so I knew he wasn't far. There are a couple times when the trail turns back on itself that I was able to kind of see him. We were just keeping it smooth, keeping it fast, keeping it flowy. We got another sharp right-hander. Take it wide, carries much speed. And you can kind of see the guy behind me. He's coming in right about, there he is, right there. He's probably about 10, 15 seconds behind me, but I know he's there. So it's just, I'm going as fast as I can. This is a downhill section. Just carrying as much speed as possible. Get a little air here. Keep carrying speed. And we're coming into a sharp left-hander and then a right-hander. Here's the right hand. Get back through this sloppy mud. Lay it down, get back into the rock section. This is it's super slick right through here. There's so much mud and muck right through here. So I just keep the pedal down, keep trying to stay in front, don't let him catch up. Just try to get through these little rocks here without any issues, no pedal strikes. Managed to get through that. And there he is again, probably getting about 15 seconds, all total, maybe 10. And let's just get back to the dirt road. And at this point, I knew he was close, but if he was going to catch me, he was going to have to put it all out, because I just gave it everything I had. I just put my head down and I just pedaled everything I had. Here we are. This is coming up to the last stretch. I didn't care where he was, but I knew if he was going to catch me, he was going to have to work hard. So I just got my head down and got it. And I ended up 4th overall, 1st in my age category. So it was a good day.